Knives are cool. And axes too. Hello everybody, I'm Robert Breaker, and I guess I have to bring the people what they want. They want more videos of more knives. Okay, you asked, here comes. Several months ago now, this is 2023, we're now in July, I went to a place called Friendship, Indiana, and it had the most amazing things there. It helped me launch my new channel. It's called Black Powder Muzzle Loader, and we went there for that, for the National Muzzle Loading Rifle Association. And also though, at that same time, they have 3 different flea markets going on in Friendship, Indiana. And I found this, and before I show you this, I'll show the video of the table where I went by on the table looking at what I saw, and then I'll come back and show you what I actually chose. And no, I didn't pay that price that was on the ticket. So let's look at the video. Roll the tape. Here's an old SKS bayonet. Here's something pretty cool. Gettysburg, July 13th, 1963. That's an exploded cannon from Gettysburg. This is kind of cool. Someone took an old United States bayonet from, does that say 1917? Turned the bayonet into a knife. That's cool. Just when you have to, you have to. Boy, does that have an edge on it though. They sharpened that thing good. That's kind of cool. Just the fact that it was part of history. A buck knife there. Huh. Wow, so what do you think? Okay, did you recognize which one you think it might have been? Well, here it is, and I ended up giving the guy about half of what the sticker price said on it. And this right here is pretty darn neat. Let's look at it. I would call it a piece of trench art, basically, because it's U.S. Army issue, but someone has changed it. They have done a little different stuff on it. So as you come up this way, a little ways, look what they did down here. They put a U.S., looks like that's made out of copper or something, and it's definitely made for a left-handy. Okay, when I put it up like this, you can tell it's left-handed. It should be the other way if I was going to carry it here. But it's very well done and very old looking. Has some initials here, CRL, and then I'm seeing here what looks like J005. Is that what you see, Laura? Or 1005? No, it looks like a J. So it's CRL, and it's kind of cool. So I am guesstimating that this was probably used in World War II, and that some soldier came along and said, I'm gonna make this bayonet into my fighting knife. Now let's take it out and look at it, because the first thing we see when we take this thing out, and by the way, that's a very nice sheath, and it's lasted a long time, but the first thing we see here is the date. Can you see that date there? 1917 SA. This is a 1917 bayonet. Now for what? I don't know. It would probably be, what did they have at that time? A Remington or something? But that's World War I. Now we turn it over, and it's definitely US, and it says 764464. And what we're seeing here is a bayonet that someone has turned into a Bowie knife. Or Bowie. I hate people saying Bowie. It's Bowie. And look what they did. They took, the bayonet probably should have been longer, but they made this into a Bowie knife, and they cut out a little groove along here, put that little bend, and then they sharpened it. Now, if you know anything about these kind of knives, bayonets are hardly ever sharpened. So you hardly ever sharpen a bayonet. It's more for sticking, and if it's too sharp, it goes too far, and it's too hard to pull back. So they always keep them dull. But someone spent a lot of time going on this thing and sharpening it. That's sharpening. It feels really sharp, but it's not cutting well. Oh, there you go. There's a good cut. But this is pretty cool. Not too bad of a cut, I guess. But this is really cool that someone said, I'm gonna take a bayonet and turn it into my own personal little fighting knife. And I'm looking at this thing, and here's your little lever here. It would still fit on the actual rifle. And I'm seeing a lot of little places here where they put a texture on the actual handle. because the handle doesn't come with a texture like that. So someone spent a long time with their pocket knife going and cutting little gouges in this thing. And that's what's just so neat to me. And look, we've got little, well, I don't know if those are lines of people that he might have killed with it. I doubt it. But think about this. This could have been used in World War II by an American soldier who said, I don't like my bayonet and I lost my fighting knife, so I'm going to make myself one. And he spent hours on shaping that and cutting that. And I don't know who he was, except for the initial CRL. But one thing I do know, he was a left-handed. He was a left-handed person, because he would have carried this. To me, this is backwards, being a right-handed person. He would have carried this over here. And then when he needed it, he would have pulled it out like this. Or, just thinking out loud here, if you know how they're taught in the military to fight, what if they on purpose did it this side because he's right-handed, but he's going to pull it out with his right hand to ready to fight? Because a lot of times they teach you to hold it like this to fight this way with a knife. So I don't know what this is, except that it was at one time American issue for World War I, and it probably was used in World War II, and the guy turned it into his own little private fighting knife. Whether he was right-handed or left-handed, my first thought was he's got to be right-handed, but then again, he's out there and then he wants this to pull out the last second. I don't know. All I thought was, man, this is really cool and was worth getting just to make a video on. You people that love, like me, World War I, World War II, you like trench art, you like things from that area, militaria, I thought you'd like this because it's really, really cool. So I wanted you to see it, and the fact that the leather is in such good shape just tells me that someone took care of this thing and protected it and kept it indoors. And definitely looks like the patina that this could have been an actual World War II use knife, but from a bayonet from World War I. So what do you think about it? I like how thick it is. It's very thick, very amazing, very cool, and very sharp. I have never seen a bayonet sharpened to that much sharp. I mean, that would cut you. So maybe you're still alive, Mr. CRL. Tell us more about it. Probably not. He'd be over 100 years old probably. But I thought I'd show you that and see what you think. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about this knife. And tell me what you think about, would you classify this as what I am, as trench art? Because it's not standard issue. They never issued a bayonet that was a knife, okay? And that little thing right there shows me somebody said, I want to carry a Bowie knife and I don't have one, so I'm going to make my own. So imagine some guy in France sitting around just slowly doing that with a file or something like that. So let's get in here and look at it and see what you think and tell me all about it. We'd love to hear in the comments what you think. I just thought it was one of the coolest items in the world. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Knives are cool. And axes too.